finish up our last little bit. Thank you. I know that y'all are trying to finish that. Alex, you shut that computer, please. Okay. When we think about today's lesson, I want you to remember we're talking about a paper, a literacy task that you're going to do that asks you to compare two things. Who can tell me what were those two things that you're going to be comparing in your literacy task? Sir?
The historical time and how it's different to us.
And not how it's different to us. We talked about that earlier. Who can tell us what's that other half? Bradley? How it affects us. So we need that historical good and how it's affected us. So whenever you think about what we did today, how does reading through the text about the Renaissance help us in writing our literacy task down the road? Who can tell me the answer to that? How does reading the text today help us on our literacy tasks down the road? All right, Haley?
It gives us more information that we need to know and make it easier.
All right, and when we look at our standard says, develop a topic with relevant, well-chosen facts, definitions, etc., information, and examples. So when we start our literacy task, you'll have these answers to these questions that you just spent time looking up, but you also have that text to go back to, okay? How can it help us if we're out in the everyday world? How can it help us to be able to develop a topic? So I want you guys to think about that, and I want you to try to figure out where in your life this standard matters to you. How can it help you to be able to develop a topic in your life outside of a school, outside of class? How can it help you? In what ways might it help you to develop a topic? In what ways might it help you to be able to develop a topic in your life? You're using well-chosen facts, definitions, concrete details, quotations, or other information and examples. What do you think, guys? You're going out into the world. You've been taught the standard. Jason, what's your thought? All right, so maybe in a future job, you'll need to be able to develop a topic. I want you guys to be thinking about that. Mikhail?
In college?
In college, you may have to develop a topic. You may have to write a paper.
Yes.
Jer-
Read like a paper and then you like to buy a house or something.
Oh, you might have to read a paper when you're buying a house and it might come into play there. Okay. You might need to choose important facts whenever you're talking to somebody. Right? David?
Like telling a hunting story?
Maybe when you're telling a hunting story. Ah, interesting. So just telling a story, I can develop my topic by choosing facts from the story. Good. Megan? If you're a blogger, Mikhail? If you're trying to write a thesis statement, I'm sorry, Xavier, that's a good one. If you're a blogger, you're going to want to choose facts that are really well chosen and that support your topic. She agrees with that. All right. Anybody else? Okay, guys. Go on, Brandon. If you're a scientist, you better be able to develop your topic. That's exactly right. They write papers. Okay. So we can see that today we did something to help us be able to develop a topic with relevant, well-chosen facts, definitions, etc., etc. Information. How did our exercise today help us to achieve that standard, developing a topic with information? In what ways? I want you to think about it and raise your hand if you can tell me how today's lesson helped us achieve this standard. Anybody other than Jason? Trevor? Anybody other than Jason and Trevor? Anybody else? Anybody else?
Right behind you.
Devin, anybody else? Anybody else? How did today's lesson help us to develop a topic? Think about it. Dakota? Good. LaQuinton? Anybody else? All right, go ahead, Dakota.
It helped us develop a topic because a topic
Cause it told us what was gonna happen in the paragraph, and it told us what to write about, too.
So whenever we write about what?
The Renaissance.
Alright, so when we write about the Renaissance, and when we'll be writing about the Renaissance? Who can help us out? When will we be writing about it?
This week?
Well, this week. What assignment did we talk about? We've been talking about an assignment that's coming up, Trevor.
How the Renaissance they conducted and
Good. So that's something that I want you guys to keep in mind. You have an exit ticket, and I want you to take that before you leave today. We're going to go ahead and move into the Counter-Reformation. The last thing you're going to do in today's agenda. We have about 20 minutes.